Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
So here's a question for you. Will ride sharing cause a company to void your warranty if you file a claim on your automobile? So the question is, will ride sharing allow the manufacturer of your automobile to deny a warranty claim? Brett sent me the article that sparked the question, and this is from a television station out of Indianapolis called Channel 6. And a story that Rafael Sanchez did is headlined, Kia Engine Replacement Warranty Claim Denied. Now, it wouldn't normally make the news if a car company simply denied a claim under warranty. It happens all the time. So here's the story. A gentleman in the area of the viewership of Channel 6 likes biking and being outdoors. So he bought a vehicle specifically to carry his bicycle. At least that's what he said was the number one reason why he chose a Kia Soul, based on reviews and friends' recommendations. So it all went swimmingly well with the vehicle until this past August when the oil light came on while driving in Indianapolis. He did not make it home to where he lived in Lebanon because the engine failed. He told the news station, all of a sudden I started hearing horrible noises. Oh, this is not good, he said to himself. I pulled over, smoke and steam everywhere. Those are not good things. An inspection found a hole in the engine block. The mechanic wrote in a report that it was most likely caused by a lack of lubrication, i.e. oil. Okay? So here's the thing. This is a Kia automobile, and he brings it into a Kia dealership and says, guys, the engine just died. What do you think? So at the dealership, they told him that Kia would not authorize an engine replacement under warranty. Now, here's the thing, and there is a little bit of an issue here with this story, and I'm going to point this out because it is not explained properly in the story itself. But he said that they denied the claim because there was a lift sticker on his windshield and that he'd been using the vehicle for commercial purposes. Therefore, it was being denied. So there's the question. Can they rightfully deny a claim if that's the only reason for which they're denying it, that you have used your vehicle for a ride-sharing purpose? Now, the man in the story says that he did, in fact, give about 20 rides as a Lyft driver, but that's it. However, he also says that he was unaware that in his own warranty booklet, apparently on page 4, item 8, it says that the warranty could be jeopardized for several reasons, including if the vehicle is used as a carriage of passengers for hire. Carrying passengers for hire would be kind of like a taxi service or like a ride-sharing service. And by the way, that's not the only thing for which they would exclude coverage. It would also exclude coverage if you'd used the vehicle for competitive driving or racing, if you'd used it as a police vehicle, or if you used it as an emergency vehicle. Many other warranties have exclusions, and I'll talk about those as well, but they're usually things that involve abuse or misuse of the product, or anything that puts the product to a heavier use than simple consumer use. So in other words, I get in my car, I drive to my office. On the way home, as I'm driving home in that car, I stop at the store. I then drive home. You know, some other people might have children, they put in their car, they drive them to school. I mean, there's all kinds of things that people do with their cars. But the second you say, oh, by the way, I'm driving around out in the field behind my farm, picking up bales of hay with it, or I take my car someplace and I jack the back end up and I put a loop over the tire and I use it as a power source. People used to do that. So those kinds of things might void your warranty claim. So you need to know what's in your warranty booklet. And I'll have you know, and I'll get to it in a second, that after I read this story, the first thing I did is I pulled out my owner's manual for my 2019 Ford Explorer to see if it excluded passengers for hire. And it doesn't. But we'll get to that. So the man in the story said I was livid, frankly, because it felt like a loophole. Well, it's a loophole that was in the book when you bought the car. Clearly something was wrong with this car. A hole in the engine block just doesn't happen. I felt like they found an excuse not to make an expensive repair. It was my feelings on that. And, the guy's right. Holes don't just appear in engine blocks, but they might appear there if there's no oil in the crankcase. So, Channel 6, RTV6, asked Kia what their opinion was and what they're doing here. And the company would not address the specific issue raised here, but they made a statement, and there's something very interesting in the statement. Kia Motors America, KMA, takes reported customer concerns seriously. KMA's Warranty and Consumer Information Manual states that damage due to improper maintenance is not covered by KMA warranties, And we also detail the vehicle owner's responsibilities relative to maintenance intervals and the retention of accurate maintenance records. The subject vehicle has approximately 90,000 miles, more than 30,000 miles beyond the new vehicle limited warranty term. So in other words, they're saying the vehicle only had a 60,000 mile warranty, and the guy's beyond that. So they're not denying it for the lift sticker or the lift usage. They're denying it for being over miles. But it still raises an interesting question. In this case, an inspection of the customer's vehicle by Kia technicians revealed clear signs of lack of maintenance, including engine oil sludge, which can lead to engine failure. Therefore, consideration for additional possible goodwill coverage beyond the terms of the new vehicle limited warranty term has been denied. Kia customers with questions regarding their Kia vehicle and warranty coverage should contact their local Kia dealer for assistance, or they give a phone number. Now, that's the thing here. If the guy's out of warranty, he's out of warranty. He may have been able to get a goodwill repair if he could show that, hey, look, guys, it's out of warranty, but I did take care of it. And Kia is saying that this guy couldn't do that. At least that appears to be the allegation. But I'm reading between the lines here, I admit. The TV station reached out to several other dealerships representing Chevrolet and Acura just to see what other car companies do. They say that one of the best ways to beat a claim like this is to follow the maintenance requirements of your vehicle and keep the maintenance records just like you would keep tax records in case of an audit. And I always tell people that. I say, look, if you buy a brand new vehicle, just as a matter of habit you need to get into, whenever you bring it in for service, oil changes, anything, tire rotation, have them write it up and take the piece of paper and stick it in your glove box. Your glove box is not designed to hold gloves. It's a euphemism. I guess not a euphemism so much as it's a nickname. But it's designed to hold papers for your car. So when you pop open the glove box, many people's glove boxes in their cars, it's like going to somebody else's medicine chest. It's just ugly. It should be filled with papers. And I can tell you right now that when I sold and got rid of an O2 Explorer I had back in 2015, I emptied the glove box out in the center console out, and it was all papers. And it was fun. I actually spent one afternoon just because I was bored going through and looking at all this, and it was just oil change. And I'd driven that car for 238,000 miles, 237, 238. So there was a lot of oil change papers in there. But it's kind of fun to go through and say, if I had to, I could reconstruct this like an archaeological dig. But the bigger question is, what about you? You have a car. You bought it brand new. It's under warranty. And you're thinking about, or you have been doing Rideshare. You have an Uber or Lyft, or there's a couple others, but you've got one of these accounts, and you've been ferrying people about in your car for money. Well, the interesting thing is I looked, like I said, at the Ford warranty booklet. And the Ford warranty booklet says specifically, it goes on page 6, Ford disclaims implied warranties of vehicles used for business or commercial purposes. And they could make the argument that the vehicle is being used for a business or commercial purpose when you're ferrying people for money in the car. But you'll notice it says they disclaim the implied warranties. They do not disclaim the express warranties, nor do they limit the express warranties. So theoretically, if the vehicle just breaks down and there's something that broke on it during the warranty period, you could take it in and they can't disclaim that express warranty that you have, parts and so on, and workmanship, for the length of the express warranty period. And that would be the new vehicle limited warranty is what they call it. Now the question is, elsewhere they do have exclusions. What is not covered under the new vehicle limited warranty? Okay, these are things not covered. Accidents, obviously. Vandalism, makes sense. And then it says misuse of the vehicle. And as of right now, 2019, which is the owner's manual I'm looking at here, I realize that 2019 is going to be over shortly, but the misuse of the vehicle has a bunch of things that they describe as misuses. Off-roading, racing, and so on. Okay, so if you bounce your vehicle over a curb and something gets damaged, you can't say, hey, that's a defect. They're going to go, no, you bounced it over a curb. But the bigger question is, if you were to put a ton of mileage in your car, but stay within the express warranty, and a short period of time, and bring it in for repairs and say, hey, something broke. The question is, could they say you were misusing the vehicle by using it as a carriage for hire? And I would argue and say, unfortunately for them, they can't make that argument at this point because they made a list of things that are misuse of the vehicle and they did not include that. So what I would urge you to do, if you're curious about this, and I hope you are, is that if you've got a brand new vehicle that you bought and it has a warranty on it that you believe to be in place, that is a new vehicle limited warranty or some equivalent thereof, and you bought the vehicle brand new, or you got it from somebody who had bought it brand new and it transferred to you. If you're thinking about Ubering or Lyfting, or you are Ubering or Lyfting, you will want to take a look at your owner's manual where it describes the terms of the warranty and what is excluded, and look to see if they've excluded carrying passengers for hire. Because if they've said that that will be an exclusion from warranty coverage, you might want to rethink that. Because as this gentleman has raised the point, assuming that he was within warranty, and I don't know if he was, is that the carriage of passengers for hire would be something they'd hang their hat on. Now, you might say, how would they know? They might not know. They might not know, but they might find out. So this guy apparently had a sticker on his windshield. Sometimes they figure this stuff out. I can tell you that in the past, I've heard of a guy, for instance, who brought his vehicle in for repairs, and he had a sticker in the window indicating that he'd had it out to a local racetrack where, anybody who wants to can pay some money and go out on a racetrack and do laps. No indication of how fast he was going, nor was there any indication that he actually had this vehicle on the track. It was one of those things that may have been a parking pass. But they spot those things, and there are people out there who like to deny claims. So again, look specifically at the language in your warranty, okay? And go find your warranty. And what's funny is many people don't even bother thinking about or looking at the warranties when they're buying a car. They only look at it later when they have problems, or after they've been told about it by some crazy attorney on YouTube. So I'll tell you right now, when I buy a brand new vehicle, I do look at the warranty and I glance at it to make sure that, it's going to not have any crazy stuff in there. But I've read so many warranties now, it doesn't take me that long to go through them and spot this stuff. But again, what you're looking for is an exclusion of coverage based on carriage of passengers for hire, or wording to that effect, okay? If they can make the argument that you are doing that and that's an exclusion in there, that will be upheld. And I know people who say, Steve, that's a loophole. Yeah, they write them in on purpose. They're allowed to do that. If you didn't like that, you shouldn't have bought the car. And I know people who say, Steve, nobody reads that when they... Didn't I just tell you a minute and a half ago? Okay? Read this stuff when you buy the car. Especially, I know people, I've actually talked to people who went out and bought a car specifically because they wanted to Uber and Lyft with it. Okay? Is it correct to use those as verbs? I think it is. So, if you buy the car specifically for that purpose, okay, then you might want to take a look at that. The other question I also have for you is that in some states and on some purchase agreements, it actually asks you, what are you going to do with the vehicle? Is it going to be used for personal use or business use? And some people will put down business use because they plan on writing it off in their taxes. And once you've checked the box business use, then the question is that a business or commercial purpose? And you might already be in trouble simply as to which of those two boxes you checked on day one. And of course, if you check that you're getting it for personal use and then you try to write it off, I'm not a CPA. I'm not going to advise you on that, but that might cause problems also. So these are some of the issues that I remember when they first said that there's this company where you can ride share, and they explain how the whole app works. And as my mind raced through all the problems with that, not the least of which, like where, the city of New York, where taxi cab medallions are worth a lot of money, and they heavily regulate that. Well, what's going to happen there? Turns out that was tied up in courts for years, and courts have ruled, and they've been fighting on that ever since. And that fight occurs in many cities and has occurred in many cities. But one of the other obvious things that occurred to me was, what's it going to do to people who are driving their passenger car half the time and Ubering with it the other half, and then there's a warranty claim? Will the warranty claim get denied or not? And like I said, it's going to hinge on whether it's there explicitly, number one, or whether they can say, well, yeah, but it's also, this is a commercial purpose you've been using the car for. And unfortunately, some car companies will use any excuse they can to bail out on a big ticket repair like that. Because that obviously, when you put a hole through the side of an engine block, that's an expensive repair. So there you go, my friends. Will Ubering or Lyfting or ride sharing with your car void a warranty claim? It might. So be careful. Questions or comments, put them below. Otherwise, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Luke, I am your mother.